Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mama Christine's podcast, Living Life Through Experience, because everything I talk about is through an experience I've had or someone I know has had. And if it can help them, the information and the troubleshooting, well, I hope it can help you as well. So welcome. If you've never listened before, I am grateful that you're here. As it is Thursday, Thankful Thursday, and as always, I am always thankful for everyone who listens. But yeah, my whole experience is to help people by teaching, life coaching, spiritual coaching, Reiki, angel card readings, whatever it is, whatever I can help you with, that's what I'm here for. So again, thank you for being here. And if you ever have any questions, you would like to talk to me about something or something that I can discuss on the podcast, by all means send in your questions, sistersofsolace@yahoo.com, or you can comment right here on Spotify, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there as well, and we'll work on that question for you. All right, so we always start with a card pull, my angel deck. So I just kind of like intuitively, okay, what do we need to know today? And we pull, and here we go. Leadership. So that's where we're going today. So leadership means taking charge of a situation, taking charge of your life, taking charge at work. Wherever it is for you, it's time to take charge. You know when people say, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired? Time to take charge, time to change that. Because the only person who can change that for you is you. It would be so nice if somebody would come in and wave a magic wand and, make things happen and, fix it for us. Or we ask the angels or God or whoever, please help us to acquire this, that, or the other, or help us to reach this. And poof, it just shows up. That would be amazing. Unfortunately, it does not work that way, as life is a lesson. From birth till death, it is always a lesson, and we learn consistently, day after day after day. And if you're not learning your lessons, they repeat and repeat and repeat until you get it. So remember that. So take charge of your life. Take charge of a situation. Set boundaries, make rules, do whatever you need to do, but take charge, because you are in charge. So it's time for you to take the horn and blow your horn, right? Say what needs to be said. Speak loudly, okay? I don't mean yell and scream. I mean speak firmly and loudly, setting your boundaries, showing your leadership skills, and showing how you're taking charge of your situations, okay? So, yeah. Even the card itself says it is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So yes, does that mean you're supposed to guide others? Of course, we always guide by example. So if you're going to be someone who's going to come off yelling and screaming and hollering and just not listening and just being angry, and yes, we can be angry, but we don't have to act angry when we're trying to communicate with people. That's leadership. So yes, so if you're going to come across with the crankiness, you're going to get cranky. If you're going to come across with love and assertiveness, that is leadership. Because again, you know what? I love you from over there. That's telling a person how you feel. But again, I think we need a boundary. Because, I love you, you're my mom, you're my dad, you're my sister, brother, whoever, my best friend, but I'm not going to tolerate the crap you're throwing at me, basically. Okay, so that's taking leadership, that's taking charge. So what's some other ways we can take charge? So first of all, this is where the conversation's going. I always go with the card, and I go with my experiences of what's been happening around me lately. And first and foremost, the only person who really needs to take charge is you. You. Your life is yours. Nobody can change it for you. Like I was just saying, we can't just go, oh, please, God, send me this, and poof, it shows up. Sometimes small things can show up really easy, but other times you have to work at it. You have to pay attention. You have to watch the signs, listen to the messages, whatever it is. Follow your gut. And God or the angels or whoever you connect with will guide you and show you the direction, but you got to do the work to get there. Understand? Okay. So leadership always starts here. Number one, right? You. And you're in charge of you, and only you can fix you, and only you can change you, and only you can see things from a certain perspective. So again, if things are not working out for you, whether it's your own happiness, your own joy, your own self-love, your self-worth, whatever, that's not going to change unless you take charge and make it change. Now, I've had clients that have come in and go, I just look at their energy and I'm going, wow, you are just so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they look at me and go, yeah, okay, well, stop enabling this one. Stop enabling that one. Stop doing for this one. When do you do for yourself? Oh, no, that doesn't happen. Okay, well, then guess what? Your sick and tired is on you. You created that. You accepted it, and you didn't make change. So that is on you. That is called accountability. Now, a good leader, okay, and I'm not saying bad about anybody, but a good leader, someone who has learned that lesson fully, will take charge and accept their accountability for right or wrong or otherwise. So for myself, for example, I do my best to work my leadership skills, take care of what I need to take care of, as well as running a business where I do take care of everybody else. But I am in charge of that. That's up to me. Nobody's going to do it for me. Nobody's going to buy me a ticket to a sound bath. Nobody's going to, drag me to an exercise class or whatever. I have to do that myself. So I do those things for myself. I do go to a sound bath once a month at someone else's facility, which is amazing, by the way. I started walking with a friend because I put it out there. I'm like, I got to start walking. Maybe I'll start going down to the beach and walking down there. I do enjoy the ocean. It's just the most peaceful place on earth for me. And my procrastination was getting in the way, and I'm like, oh, give me a hand here. I need a push. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a friend of mine says, you know what? I read that as we get older, it's best when we're older to walk every night or as much as we can, but doing it after dinner at the end of the day, because it helps your body to metabolize whatever it's had, and it's better for you. And I'm looking at her, and all of a sudden she says, do you want to start walking with me? And this person does not like to walk. And she just knows that she needs to walk. And out of nowhere asked me if I want to walk. And I'm like, yes, I've been wanting to walk. And she's like, promise, because we need to keep each other accountable. And I was like, definitely. And now we've been walking for 3 weeks, at least 4 to 5 times a week, on an average of 3 to 5 miles, depending on which path we take on our walk. So, that's how it works. If you're feeling stuck, yes, ask for help, and they can give you that little push that you need, but they're not going to do all the work for you, because you're already hearing them say, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and you're the one who's ignoring the little voice. I know we all do it. So do better. Be accountable for your choices. Be accountable for the direction you take. Be accountable for everything that happens to you, okay? Because again, if we're not doing what we need to do to be a leader, then we're just not being anything. You got to be a leader, not a follower. It's like, I don't know, life is made up of everything, black and white and left and right and up and down and, all that. And there's leaders and there's followers. But when it comes to your own personal life, you can't be a follower. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to be happy, because you're always going to be doing what someone else wants you to do. And that's not living your life. That is living everyone else's life. So remember that. Leadership. Take charge. Okay? And what if you're wrong? So what? What are they going to say? Who cares? It does not matter at all. Okay? So, taking charge of things. Personally, I have done that. I started walking. Yes, I had a little help. Thank you. Help is always necessary at times. And when it comes, gratitude. Thank you. So yes, I wanted to walk. I started walking. Do I hear that little voice in my head saying, the weather's going to change soon. It's going to be cold out. You don't like the cold. You don't want to walk in the cold. But you know what? I can tell my ego to shut the hell up and decide, you know what, I don't have to walk outside in the wintertime. We can find a place indoors if it's that cold. And we could walk the mall. We could walk whatever other big space that there is indoors. So when there's a will, there's a way. You'll figure it out. And I know we will. Even right now, as we're walking, it's getting darker sooner at night. So we're timing, like, let's get there at this time and we can go this far this way and have enough time to come back before it's pitch black, right? But we're making it work, okay? How you become accountable in other parts of your life and have those leadership skills is admitting when you're wrong. That's accountability. I have gotten into tiffs with my son, and nothing crazy, but it's just like you're having a moment, you don't want to deal with any BS, and I don't know, just does something out of the ordinary that just like, what the frick did you do that for? You know what I mean? And typical human behavior for the moment. And it was like, it was uncalled for. I didn't need to do that. But you know what? Within minutes, I went right up to him and I said, I apologize for talking to you like that. That was completely wrong of me. And I did it because I was angry. And it's not your fault. It's not your problem. It's mine. So I apologize. I says, I should have said what I wanted to say in a nicer way, a more loving way. So I apologize. And he was very grateful for that. But again, how many moms and dads will actually turn around and say, I'm sorry? They don't always do that. You know, people in general don't always do that. But you know what? I wanted to be a leader, not a follower. I spent my childhood being a follower, always worrying about what everybody else would think. Did I look okay? Was I the right size? Did I have the right clothes? If I didn't have the right clothes, the kids were going to make fun of me. I don't care anymore, okay? You do reach an age where you don't care anymore what people think, and I really don't, and I haven't for a long, long time. So no, I want to be a follower. I want to do what makes me happy. You don't want to join? Then don't. I go to plenty of places by myself because that's what I need to do for myself, and that's what I want to do for myself, so I do it, you know? But yes, it's again, that accountability. So yes, I'm a more of a leader today than I am a follower. So as a leader, screwing up, it's a big deal, you know, but I acknowledge my screw up. I acknowledge what I did wrong, and I acknowledge the person I did it to. Does it suck feeling that big sometimes that you did something without really like, oh my God, I let my human self take over? But again, you are human. You are human, okay? A spirit living a human existence, right? The human part of us is not always the greatest. But again, it's lessons, learning lessons, right? Life lessons. So some other areas where we can like really work on our leadership skills. Okay, so one of my daughters, had an opportunity for a writing internship. She's not in college anymore, but it's an internship. Anybody can apply for it. It's a paid internship. And it would have been the most amazing position a writer would want. And she made it all the way to the third level of interviews, wrote a script, talked to the people, had a face-to-face interview with like 5 people on a panel. And oh my God, everything seemed perfect. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'm sorry, we don't want you. Talk about crashing your dreams. But like I told her, I'm so sorry this didn't happen for you. But you know what? Everything happens as it's supposed to, and you know that, and I've taught you that. But this was my dream. This was my only shot. I'm like, no, that's where you're wrong. That is where you're wrong. When something does not happen for you, it's because it's not meant for you, it's not the right time, or there's something hell of a lot bigger and better coming your way. So guess what? If this internship comes back up again, then you go back and you reapply, and you keep doing that until something happens. Never say stop. Never give up. And I know yesterday emotionally and mentally she was a bloody mess because of it, but that's part of the lesson. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe spiritually she's not ready yet. Maybe there's something bigger. I don't know her path. They know, right? So take it as a lesson, take it as a lesson learned, allow that to make you stronger, and say, well, I'm not going to let that tear me down. I'm going to keep going. 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 Because as much as this would have been one heck of a thing to put on your resume, all right, you got to keep going. Reapply for the next one. Apply for other positions at other companies that are similar. You know, something's going to happen. You know, it's life is an experience. Her job that she has now is an experience. Is it what she wants? Truly? No. She likes it. But it's like, just take it for what it is. And the right thing, the most amazing thing, will come her way. Another situation of somebody I know, because everybody, you know, again, I'm Mama Christine. And I am the one everybody comes to and goes, oh my God, look what happened. And I love helping everybody. So, of course, I don't want to name names, of course, and the names don't matter. But I have another friend who, you know, basically has been out of the dating loop for a while. And one day I told this person, I says, you know what, maybe if you get out of your four walls and just go to a party or go to a gathering somewhere, you'll meet people. And sure enough, another one of her friends has the thing. She goes, she meets somebody. Oh, they're getting along, aces, a whole 9 yards. But he's a very busy person. She's been alone for a little while, so she's, you know, really looking forward to being with somebody. So now we have this conflict, and of course I don't know, there's many sides to stories, so I don't know his side of the story. I only know what she's told me. But no matter what the situation is, you have to remember everything happens for a reason. Now, she has messaged him and said, hey, let's go out. He says, I'll get back to you, and he hasn't. Now, has it been a long time? If you consider a week a long time, sure. Not really a long time in reality, but I understand where she's coming from. But at the same time, like I told her, I says, you know what? Just because you met somebody, maybe the message for you was, see what happens when you get out of your four walls. You can meet people. Is he the person? Who knows? Right? Who knows? Maybe it was for that moment. Then she's like, well, I'm sorry I met him because I was falling for him. I said, no, don't be sorry you met him. He showed you that you can still find someone. It doesn't mean he's the one, but you can still find somebody. It just proved to you that if you got out and went and enjoyed yourself and socialized more, you could interact with other people who would be interested in you. So, you know, these are the things that happen. So never regret things that don't go your way. Always say, okay, thank you. What did I learn from this? One, yes, for her, it shows you, yes, if you get out and socialize a little bit more, then you do get to meet other people where you would have the chance for opportunities or relationships or new friends or whatever it may be. Okay? And I think what happens is that age, because she's young, she's around my kid's age. And, you know, I remember being that age and thinking like, oh my God, you know, the end of the world, because things were not going exactly as I think they should be going. And again, it's not. So I told her this. I said, you know what? This is what you need to. Don't sit around and wait, because waiting is a waste of time. Don't settle. Just keep going out, keep meeting people, and keep trying. Take charge. Leadership. Take charge of your life. Don't sit around and wait. Just go out and have fun. And if somebody else asks you out, go. Nobody's saying you're getting married, right? You're still young. Go out and have some fun. Meet people. Make friends. Go on dates. Whatever it is. And if he happens to call to go out and you're available, great. If not, oh well, you missed your chance. Maybe another time. Right? There's always a reason for everything. Remember that. I don't care how young you are, how old you are. Everything happens as it's supposed to, when it's supposed to, how it's supposed to, with who it is supposed to. And if it falls apart, that's okay. Because when things fall apart for me, it sucks. Yes, it does. But at the same time, I go, thank you. because maybe that wasn't supposed to be the thing. Maybe it wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe that's not the person. But again, what am I learning from this? Yes, I can move forward. Yes, I can meet people. Yes, I can find new relationships, whatever it may be. So those two things are just a couple of examples, It is what it is. It's life. And again, how we deal with everything is how our life is going to go. So again, if we want to be the follower and go, oh, well, this isn't working out, I guess I'll just do whatever and hang out with whoever, and, whoever comes along, it's okay. Like, no. Your life, your existence, your lessons, your learning, your excitement, your happiness, your joy, your connections. Oh my God, it just goes on and on and on and on. But again, right back to here. Leadership. Take charge. We're going to go next card. Clear your space. So what does that mean? Literally clear your space? Sure, why not? You can literally clear any space. When you clear your stuff out, it actually shifts the energy. But this instance, I want to say it's not just about clearing out your drawers or your closet or whatever it is. It's clearing this out. Because again, we are my God, taught to believe that life goes a certain way. So therefore, when it's not going the way we were taught, something's wrong. This isn't right. I'm behind. I'm not that good. Maybe I'm not worthy. And then it starts getting worse and worse, and our mind starts going. The hamster wheel starts. It's like, oh my God, what now? Everybody's life is different. Excuse me. Everybody's path is different. And you got to remember that. You have to remember that. I start talking and then my throat gets dry. Anyway, everybody's path is meant to go in a direction for them. Does it involve other people? Of course it does. Okay. Yes, you're going to have your family. You're going to have friends. You're going to have coworkers. You're going to have people that walk in for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 years, 50 years, lifetime, who knows? But again, we have to go with the ebb and flow of this path. Because, again, like my friend here who met this nice guy that she really was falling for, only to find out he's not answering her back fast enough, which we don't know why. Okay, so we can't really judge it. And I hate to judge it not knowing the reason. And again, sometimes it's like, forget the reason. It's just live your life and let things unfold, But anyway, maybe she was, again, like I explained, meant to meet him to show this person that you can meet people. You can meet relationship type people. You can have fun. You can, shift and change. Because again, at your age, you should not be staring at 4 walls. It should not be get up, go to work, come home, and go to bed and start all over again. I mean, you should be experiencing life with everything it has to offer, So if you are listening, remember that, okay? Some people, what's the quote? They say some people are meant to be in your life for a moment and others are meant to be in your life for memories. I don't know, some weird thing. But some people are. They're in there for a minute or two just to cross your path to give you a message. And other people are meant to be there for a long time. I have a friend who we have been friends for, I'm going to be 58 next month, so that makes us 52 years as friends. Yeah, that's a long time, right? That's basically almost all my whole life. So she's meant to be there. Do we talk as much as we used to? No, because our lives are changing. Our lives are always changing. We went from being kids and always being together to I got married and she got married and then I got divorced and then she got divorced and I remarried and later on in life she found somebody else. I had kids. She already had kids. And then she opened up a restaurant and then she closed the restaurant. And then I have this business and I'm here, almost 20 years now. And now she's got grandkids. So yeah, so life keeps changing. So do we need to hang out with each other all the time like we did when we were kids? No. But we still catch up. We're always connecting and catching up with each other. And I know that if I need anything, I can call her and she will do whatever she needs to do to help me out, and vice versa. We've always done that for each other. Is she meant to be in my life for my whole life? I would say yes. I mean, if we've made it 52 years, I don't see why not, right? But I've had other people that have come in and gone back out again. Some people, they came in, we connected, we hung out, and then all of a sudden it kind of faded off, but we're still connected through social media or acknowledgement or acquaintance or whatever it is. So there's so many different ways that people come into our lives. And I know every person wants to have that certain somebody in their lives that makes them feel like, this is my person. This is somebody I can go home with. We can have dinner together. We can cuddle. We can watch movies. We can go for rides. We can hold hands. We can have passion. We can do all these different things. And then when you don't have it, it feels like, oh my God, the end of the world. But let me tell you something. As much as everybody wants that, a lot of times you have to think, am I okay with me? Because I found out, of course, I was married twice. And after my divorce from my second husband, I'm like, I'm done. I need to focus on me. Now, I know somebody in their 20s is going to be like, wait, I haven't even started yet. I get that. But don't just force the issue of having somebody in your life because you're missing something. Make sure you're good with you. Make sure you're happy with yourself and with life and everything else. Because then when you attract somebody, it's going to be somebody who sees you for that. You know what I mean? Like now I've been alone for a long time and I'm perfectly content with that. Would I like somebody in my life? Of course I would. And I've talked about this before. I would love to have a companion in my life, somebody, again, who we can hold hands, we can go for rides, be spontaneous, go away for a weekend, go for dinner occasionally, sit and watch a movie, go to the beach, those kinds of things, and all the other things I would love to have with that. But at the same time, it's like, if I do it, it's because I want to, not because I need to. That's the difference with relationships. And that, for me, shows leadership. Now, at a young age, you got a lot to learn when it comes to love. And I get that because I've been through it all. And I went through the dating thing. I got married young. I was married 10 years. He cheated. He left. I went on, married my second husband. Things were great until they weren't great. That lasted 15 years, 16 years. Is what it is. But now I'm in a place where I get it now. I need to be happy with me. And I am. So, for a person who's young, yes, you got a lot to learn when it comes to life and love and all those things. And how do you learn? Well, you learn through experience, right? Living life through experience. That's the podcast. And sometimes you got to go through the ups and downs of relationships in order to learn from them. You know what I mean? So you're going to go through your stuff no matter what. You cannot always say, no, I can't do this because it's not right. If you don't even know what right is yet, So learn through your experiences, learn about life, learn about love, learn about all these different things. Be mindful though of your choices. That's the big thing. I'm not saying don't pick somebody because they're not perfect for you, or don't go out with people until your heart is, your mind, body, and soul is totally connected. That's not the case. We have to live life. That's how we learn. Okay, you can listen to me all day long, or anybody else for that matter, but it doesn't mean it's going to put you in the perfect position to find just the perfect person, because everybody is young, right? And everybody is still hasn't learned everything there is to learn about life and love and relationships and commitments and all those things. So, learn your things, but just be mindful of the choices you make. If somebody does not seem 100%, if it doesn't feel 100% right with you, then be mindful of that. Because sometimes it's like, oh, whatever, I'll just go out with this person. But if it doesn't feel right, then don't do it. You know, I had a question come up a couple of days back. Same scenario, relationship, much older, not a kid. And she was like, I was just very disappointed because the person who I thought there was a connection with, there's no connection, and, isn't talking to me. And then I see them out with someone else, and, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, I said, don't force anything. Don't force anything. Do not settle and lower your standards just so you can get somebody to come back, because that's not how it works. So she says, well, somebody told me that my standards are too high. I'm like, no, never. Why should anybody settle for something less than what they want or deserve? I always say, when you want to be with a person in a relationship, you want to be here. Does your energy fluctuate? Sure, it can do this, but it shouldn't be like this. No, here, right? I says, no. To me, there's no such thing as your standards are too high. That just tells me that the person who told you that doesn't think enough of themselves to find the right person. So instead of chasing somebody who doesn't want to be chased, how about you make an about face and walk towards someone who may be the most amazing, perfect person for you. Even if you don't know who that is yet, but just turning around and walking in a different direction and moving forward, you'll find that person. Never drop your standards, never settle for less. Don't do it. And like I told her, I says, when it comes to relationships, friendships, anything like that, a connection with someone else, it should be easy. It should be easy. It should never be hard. If you're chasing and it's work, it's not the right person. Let it be easy. So again, if you meet somebody and you click and you call and they respond, you text, they respond, and vice versa, and you go out and you have good times and you keep reconnecting. See how it's just flowing and it's going easy and it's happening and everything's moving along, and it's like, okay. Now, is there hard parts that come up? Sure, because there might be disagreements, misunderstandings, learning about each other. Those are the things that happen. That's not really a bad thing. It's just figuring things out, because again, you're used to being you. Now you want to share you with someone else. So it's like, oh, I like hot water. They like cold water. You know what I mean? They like this kind of food. I don't like that kind of food. Whatever it might be. I like these types of movies. They like those type of movies. Not everything has to be perfect. Okay? But being open and honest and communicating, and yes, sometimes we will compromise a little for someone's happiness, but it doesn't mean you do it all the time. If they say, let's do dinner, where do you want to go? Well, I want Italian. Well, I'm not really big on Italian. How about Portuguese? And you know what? You do like Portuguese, so why force somebody to go to a restaurant they don't like the food? That means you're just going to sit there and watch you eat, so that's stupid. I think so. Then you just compromise. Okay, we'll do Portuguese. Okay? But it's same on the other end as well. If you say, hey, let's go for ice cream. I'm going to buy some ice cream at the store. What kind should I buy? Oh, I really love coffee. Well, I really prefer strawberry. So you know what? Fine. Go ahead and get the strawberry. I know you like it. It's good. It's a compromise. It's communication. It's all these different things. So there's so much involved with relationships, whether they are romantic ones or friendship or work or whatever, But you've got to take charge on how these things play out. Because again, if we just sit back and just drop and go, okay, whatever you want. Okay, fine. I'll do whatever you want. No. We can't do that. We need to clear your head, because again, it's like, no, don't go with what the old ways, old traditional ways. Traditions are meant to be changed. They really are. So for example, when I was a kid, my mom was talking to me about, when you get older, you get married, you take care of your husband and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, because that's what I saw my mom do. That's what she talked about. That's what her mother did. And So yes, when I got married, it was like I worked and I cleaned the house and I cooked the dinners and I cleaned up and I did the laundry and I did the shopping and I, because that was my job. And then it got to be like, okay, this is a lot of work. But it was like, no, that's the way it's supposed to be. And then that marriage fell apart. And I did the same. I learned my lesson from the first one to stop making excuses for him because of how my life was going. And it was like, oh, it's okay. Well, he's doing this because whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm losing who I am because I'm making up excuses for him. And so I'm changing no, I'm done with that. So I learned how to be more independent, more of myself, getting back into my own personal power and being me. So yes, that's what that taught me. The second time, it was just, wow. I did the same thing, household-wise. Now, the difference being, I was working. I did cook and clean and whatnot, but they did do a few things. So it's like, okay, this isn't too bad. It was a little balanced. But then when the kids started coming in, it was more of 90-10. And mind you, when I had my kids, I was a stay-at-home mom. So, okay, so I didn't have a job to go to, but still, when it's your kids, it's usually, it's both of you who made the kids, it's both of you who should take care of the kids, and both of you who should raise the kids. And it was, to me, it was still, I'm like, this is still like 90-10 here. Just because you sit and read them a book does not make you, dad of the year. And, and I'm not by any means trying to make fun. If you have never listened to me before, my husband was a super, super narcissist. So, it was all about him and what he needed, and everybody else was second. Which, again, I do talk about taking care of self. But again, when you have children, until they can take care of themselves, you take care of them. And then, of course, it's a shared responsibility, as it should be, and it wasn't. So anyway, when that all fell apart, my lesson again was, I'm not doing this anymore. I am not conforming to what everybody else wants me to be. I refuse to believe any of this crap he's telling me about myself. It's not the truth. I know my truth, because a narcissist will be the greatest person on earth to tell you what a crap shit person you are. But anyway, how to blame you for everything, that they're the victim, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so my second one, it really taught me a lot. It taught me independence. It taught me independent thinking, accountability, responsibility, so much, but in the long run, everybody turned out okay. I found myself again. My kids are all adults. They all work their careers. They're all beautiful people. So it all worked out, which is what you want to happen. Are they going through their things? Of course they are, because they need to. No matter what I have taught them in this 20 years, they still need to go through their own experiences, their own losses, their own fall downs and get ups and so on and so forth. But the whole point of all this is you've got to, talked about clear your space, right? Clear that ugly thinking, that negative thinking that you're not good enough, I'm not worthy. Why did I let this happen? Why am I so stupid? Why am I so fat? Why am I so short? Why am I so tall? Why am I this? Why am I that? Why are you not happy with yourself? Think about that one. What or who has created this issue with you that you're just not happy with yourself? Which takes us back to, leadership. Take charge. You are an amazing human being, because each and every one of us on this earth is a spark of the divine. Now, whether you believe in God or the universe, the creator, or however you want to look at it, we are all a piece of that. I don't care if you call it the Big Bang. We are all a piece of that. And if that energy is the most beautiful, amazing energy ever, Doesn't that make us all beautiful and amazing? Doesn't it? Of course it does. What happens is we come down here and we all have these two things. We have a heart and your truth center, and we have the negative center, your ego, false information up here. God gave us a brain, and we spend more of our time looking at the negative pieces of our brain versus the knowledge in our brain. And it doesn't take much. And I've said this before too. I says 10 people can give you a compliment, but one person can say something negative about you, and that is what you're going to carry around. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know when they say not everybody can be wrong? That's absolutely true. So out of 11 people, you got 10 over here. Okay, this is 10. And the 1 over here. 10 people saying what a great person you are, and 1 who says you're not. Why listen to the 1, not the 10, right? Listen to the 10. You are a spark of the divine. You are amazing. You are love. You are everything you were intended to be. Are you meant to be here to live this life, to experience, to learn? Of course you are. Are you going to fall down? Yes, you will. Are you going to get back up? I sure damn hope so. Because that's what life is about. You're going to fall, get back up. And now stopping right here in this moment, how old are you? How many times in your lifetime have you fallen down and gotten back up already? Oh my God. I'm going to go with 10. At least 10. Big things that I can remember. I have fallen. I have cried. I have crawled. And I've gotten back up. Just like a kid. And again, this is something else I have said. You watch children. They're infants, right? They're born, they're infants. They can't do a damn thing for themselves besides breathe, poop, and pee, right? Gotcha. Now they're starting to grow. 4 months, they learn to roll over. 6 months, I think I can sit up. Do they roll over? Of course, they roll over and they fall over. But guess what? They try again. Then within 9 to 12 months, anywhere in there, depending on the child, I'm going to grab onto the couch and I'm going to pull myself up and I'm going to stand. And they do. And then they fall. What do? Grab back on the couch again and pull and stand up and hold it. And then fall. And they keep repeating until they figure it out. Now they get in the standing position like, hey, this is great. Look at me. I am standing on 2 feet. Have they given up? Not one bit. Have they cried? Sure, they've cried. Don't we all? But they keep going. Then it's like, I'm going to take a step. I want to walk, just like the big people in this house. I want to walk. Step down. Cry. I got hurt. Whatever. Got over it. Back up again. Walk. Walk. Down. Okay. Cry. Get over it. Get back up. Walk and walk and walk and walk. And before you know it, you're chasing a kid around the house. They don't give up. And you know who they are? You. We were all that baby. We were all those toddlers. We were those children. You learn to sit up. You learn to roll over. You learn to stand. You learn to walk. You learn to run. You learn to manipulate with your fingers, putting shapes into holes and things like that, right? You learn to feed yourself. You learn to ride a bike. You learn to roller skate. You learn all these different things. And were you good at first? Of course not. But you know what? You keep going. And you keep going and keep going until you get better at it. And what happens? Somewhere along the line, somebody has told you, well, you suck. You're no good. What is wrong with you? Why did you do that? And now you second guess everything. Leadership. Time to take charge of that. Take charge of that leadership now. And say, yeah, I have fallen down. Yeah, I've gotten back up. And yeah, I'm moving forward. Have I had people in my life who don't belong there? That's right, I have. Have I held on to them longer than I should have? I probably have, but you know what? Not anymore. I'm done. You, bye. You, bye. You, no. You, I love you from over there. Stay over there. You gotta take charge. Don't listen to what people tell you. Because people only say these negative things to you because they do not feel that thing that they're complaining about you. They don't feel that about themselves. They don't feel confident in themselves. So it's like a bully. A bully is going to pick on you until you don't allow it anymore, which means you don't listen. You don't respond. You're done. The bully's like, well, that's no fun. I'm not getting a rise out of them. So why am I wasting my time? Let me go find somebody else to pick on. So when people do not feel good about themselves, they send it on to you. So don't take it as truth. 10 people. You're lovely. You're beautiful. I like you. You're so sweet. You're special. You're kind. You suck. And we carry that. Don't carry that. Take that and stick it. Yeah, whatever. I suck. I suck through straws. Yes, because iced tea is amazing. We love iced tea. Turn it around. Turn it around. Do what you have to do to make things better. So yes, when it comes to losing out on things, maybe there's a reason. We have to know that there's a reason it happened. Do we know exactly the reason? Not always. But what are you learning from this experience? Maybe this is pushing you to keep trying, to show you strength, to show you courage, to show you how to fight for what you want. Is that person not calling you back? No, they're not. But am I going to sit around and wait forever? No, I'm not. I want to enjoy life. I want to have fun. I want to interact with other people. Off I go. If that person catches up with me, great. If they don't, oh well. Don't sit around and wait. Don't sit around and just mope. Get out there, enjoy life, do what you want. If you want something, damn it, go fight for it. Don't give up. Take the leadership role and live your life according to you. So, with that being said, this is where I'm going to leave you for this week. And just for real quick, here we go. Beloved one. Beloved one, I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Now again, soulmates do not always mean romantic partners. Soulmates mean finding the actual soulmate, energy, person, object, job, career choice, whatever it is. Finding that perfect connection for you. So if it is that internship or that relationship or the new house or the new job or the new school or anything, new friendships, they're always watching. They're always helping. They're always there. So ask the universe, the creator, God, angels, your loved ones on the other side. Just ask. Please help me, guide me, show me the way, give me a sign, send me a message. And if you're stubborn like some people, tell them to smack you in the head with it so you actually get the message. And you never miss messages anyway, because people's like, oh my God, what if I miss it? You're not going to miss it. If you miss it, they're going to hit you with it again. Here you go. And if you get something at least 3 times, then damn it, it's a message. So take it and use it. So again, take leadership of your own life. Do what you want to do. Do what's best for you. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Keep going after what you want. Do what makes you happy. Don't waste time waiting for people to catch up. Just keep going. Enjoy your week. And again, if you guys have anything you want to ask or something you want me to discuss here on the podcast, by all means, send me a message through Spotify under the comments or YouTube under the comments, or just send me a message directly, sistersofsolace@yahoo.com, and I would be glad to answer it for you. So have a great week. Be a super duper leader and be accountable for your actions and be mindful. We always need to be mindful. All right, guys, thanks so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next week.